theme was New Orleans or Louisiana food. And I wanted to kind of leave it like not just focus on one food and kind of just have it all encompassed in like one piece. So I used a lot of like retro advertising stuff and like the corners and everything. It's food for thought. I kind of came up with that name because of the whole motion of it, but it wasn't. I came up with the name after I had already completed it. What I like to do a lot in my pieces is like take vintage imagery and put it into like in a modern way, and then mix like rough edges with really loose like rough edges, or like the rough with the clean. So I like the way that looks, and I like to use a lot of color as well.
Clean up at 3 a.m. I felt like Cafe du Monde, like everyone comes here to eat beignets and stuff, and so that had been like a really good example of some of the cuisine. And I chose the person handing out the food because it's very subtle, but it's also very like full of color, and I really like that.
Whenever I thought of food, I just thought of my favorite food, which is crawfish, and I thought that a lot of people would be doing crawfish, and I wanted to do something different or more abstract to my style, and I wanted to do something to make crawfish sort of look like beautiful in a way, or in a sense, than like, you know, little muddy bugs, I guess, that, you know, maybe people look at them as like, you know, nasty animals, or, you know, crustaceans that are icky. I guess I wanted to add color, but I really liked my transition of black and white together, and I just wanted to do it. Black and white is sort of like a simple, clean look and not necessarily too eccentric.
Okay, the title of my piece is Une fille de sur la mer, and it means seafood made in French. I kind of wanted something that like incorporated a little bit of everything, as far as like it's not just like food, like it has like a little bit of culture in it too. And like the seafood maid, I kind of thought almost like a voodoo kind of queen, but like with food instead of, you know, voodoo. I wanted something that wasn't, you know, just like food. Feels kind of boring. I wanted something that, you know, you look at it and you're like, you know, what's the story behind this? Like, what, you know, what does it mean?
The idea really was weak at first because it was just kind of a trite pun, like, oh, a novelty, like, oh, it would be funny if somebody named Trinity did a piece that involved the Trinity of Creole food. And I had always wanted to avoid drawing food, so I decided just to go with people themed as food. Of course, I wanted to go with the shape of the vegetable itself, but I also considered, I kind of converted their tastes in my mind to personalities. Like onion always has this bright, crisp kind of aftertaste, so I wanted her to be bubbly and energetic. So it was natural that I put her in a bubble dress to also accommodate the shape of the onion. As far as the bell pepper, it's more of a robust but also kind of light flavor. So I kind of went with like the typical Southern belle, you know, very lively. Her dress is kind of gaudy because of that. You know, it's artistic temperament comes with that, with the bell pepper. The celery, it's kind of a smart kind of flavor. It's like really clean and light. So I pictured somebody new agey, like Whole Foods, kind of, you know, witty, and I had her in a mod bohemian type maxi dress to, it accommodated the shape of the celery itself while keeping the personality that I envisioned each to have.